Welcome back to Movieworld Recaps. Today, I am going to share a crime, mystery, thriller movie about a series of mysterious events that changed the life of a blind pianist, who must now report a crime that he should technically know nothing of. Warning, spoilers ahead, so watch and enjoy. A farmer pursues a troublesome, ostensibly blind hare through a field of cabbage next to a roadway. The farmer sees the hare hiding behind a highway milestone and points his gun at it. Akash is a gifted musician who appears to be blind and is looking for inspiration. He spends his time earnestly trying to finish a musical composition that is a prime example of his best work. The only individuals who first appear to be aware of his seemingly harmless presence are a nearby child who continues trying to prove that he is blind, and a pet cat named Ronnie. One day, Sophie, whose father owns a diner, runs over Akash as he crosses the street. Akash's talent impresses Sophie, who gets him a job at the diner where he attracts the attention of veteran actor Pramod Sinha. Pramod invites Akash to his apartment for a special performance for him and his wife, Simi, in honor of their wedding anniversary. Akash observes that Sophie likes him as he watches her drive away after she returns him to his apartment. But Sophie is unaware of this, and they start to get along. Simi hesitates to unlock the door and let Akash inside when he arrives at Pramod Sinha's apartment, but she eventually does so when she notices that her neighbor is keeping an eye on them. Akash is allowed to play the piano inside because Simi believes he is blind. Akash starts, but he stops as soon as he sees a body nearby. To keep up his act of blindness, he pretends ignorance while still playing the piano. Akash excuses himself and uses the restroom. While there, he notices Inspector Manohar hiding, but he pretends not to see him. He is able to recognize the body as being that of Pramod Sinha when he returns to the piano. While Akash begins playing the piano, purportedly unaware, Simi and Manohar stealthily clean the body and pack it up for disposal. In a flashback, it is revealed that Pramod had lied to his wife about a reported trip to Bangalore while, in fact, he had gone there to surprise her with anniversary gifts. Akash then tries to report the murder but is unable after learning that Manohar works as an inspector at the police station. Akash eventually decides to lie about the child living downstairs and accuse him of killing his cat Ronnie to shift the cause for his approaching the police, as Inspector Manohar would know Akash was aware the entire time. Once more in Akash's presence, who is forced to maintain his act of ignorance about both the killings, Simi succeeds in killing the neighbor who had also seen Manohar enter the apartment. Akash is still being browbeaten by Manohar and Simi, who are both trying to prove that he is actually blind. When Simi finally succeeds in poisoning Akash's coffee in front of him in an effort to determine whether he was truly blind, Akash breaks down. Following that, Akash maintains he doesn't want any issues and simply wants to get away so he can attend a concert in London. Then he explains to Simi that he pretended to be blind as a part of a sociological experiment in an effort to find inspiration for his music. He then realizes that the candy Simi had earlier given him was poisonous, and he starts to choke. He falls, struggling to breathe. When Sophie stops by, she notices that the nearby child had captured a video of Akash moving and navigating his surroundings as if he were a regular person. She moves away from him angry and heartbroken. Akash awakens and fiercely rubs his eyes after finding he can't see. As soon as he knows he has been blindfolded, he demands Simi give him his sight back. Simi advises him to concentrate on his work and departs after telling him that no one would believe his account of her involvement in the two killings, because he was blind. Manohar returns to complete the task when they conclude that blinding Akash wouldn't be sufficient because he could still divulge information. After a tense battle, Akash manages to go out onto the street, passes out, and eventually wakes up in a dubious clinic, which turns out to be a cover for illegal organ harvesting. Dr. Swami and his two assistants decide to help Akash in his quest to raise the funds necessary to correct his blindness. Simi is taken hostage, and Manohar is threatened into delivering 1 crore rupees to a predetermined spot. At this moment, a number of twists happen. To take the entire sum of money for themselves, the helpers tie Akash and Simi together. Manohar is then forced to pay, and after shooting one of them, the other manages to trap him in an elevator. Manohar, who is trapped, mistakenly shoots himself, leaving his future uncertain. It is subsequently discovered that the money Manohar was extorted was fake. Simi assisted Akash to free himself, and as he grows more frantic, he takes off the blindfold. Simi guides the blind Akash as he makes an attempt to flee, while Simi frees herself and engages in fight. Simi is subdued by the two of them after Dr. Swami enters. Simi is tied in the trunk of a car and driven away by Dr. Swami and Akash. Akash feels morally troubled by Dr. Swami's plans to extract Simi's organs for 6 crore rupees and use the money to pay for Akash's eye transplant. Simi is restrained in the trunk while Dr. Swami speeds off with Akash. 2 years later, in Europe, traveling Sophie runs across Akash, who recounts her the entire tale while still appearing to be blind and wearing heavy glasses. Then Akash informs her that Simi woke up in the trunk and began making noises after Dr. Swami had driven off with him. Dr. Swami disregards Akash's reservations, stops the vehicle, and reaches the trunk, where Simi quickly overcomes him. Simi then starts driving the vehicle. Akash keeps pleading with him to let Simi go, since he believes Dr. Swami is still in driving the car. After dropping Akash off and starting her car after hearing this, Simi decides against it and turns around with the intent of running him over. She loses control at this point and crashes after being struck by the rabbit from the beginning of the movie. Simi is killed in the explosion of the automobile. The entire story is told to Sophie, who cries. She informs Akash that he ought to have obtained Simi's organs and regained his sight. Akash, however, doesn't say a word and leaves with the help of his stick, which has a rabbit carved on its handle. He deliberately swats a can out of his way with the stick after disappearing from view. That's all folks for today. I hope you like it. Please subscribe to our channel for more content like this and hit on the like button to help us out. You can also leave a comment below if you want us to recap your favorite movie. Until next time.